Okay, let's be honest. Google's AI in shopping has felt, well, kind of chaotic, right? One minute it's everywhere, and the next it's just vanished. But what if all that chaos isn't chaos at all? What if it's actually a very specific plan? Well, new data from BrightEdge just dropped, and it seems to be the key to this whole mystery. So today, we're going to unlock it.
So this is the big question on every marketer's mind. Is this just random noise, or is there a real master plan behind the curtain? The unpredictability can be pretty unnerving. But the data is telling us a story. It suggests this is no accident. It's a calculated strategy, and it's happening right in front of us. Let's start digging into the first clue. All right, here's the first piece of the puzzle, and it's a doozy. Just 18%. That's the year-over-year overlap for keywords that trigger these AI overviews. To put it another way, over 80% of what triggered an AI answer last year doesn't anymore. BrightEdge calls it a massive reshuffling. And that's not a small tweak, my friends. That is a complete and total overhaul. Now, just as you're wrapping your head around that, look at this. Right before the big holiday shopping season, Google slashed 70% of its AI triggering keywords. They kept only 30%. Now, at first glance, that looks like a full-on retreat, doesn't it? But it's not. This is a strategic pivot, and understanding this is the key to figuring out the entire game. So this brings us to our first major insight. We're looking at a strategic keyword pullback. This isn't Google just randomly throwing things at the wall to see what sticks. No, this is a very deliberate filtering process. Google's getting super picky about where its AI shows up, and the data tells us exactly how. And here is the big twist. It's a complete reversal from last year. Back then, Google was playing it safe, pulling back on the big high-volume keywords, just testing the waters. But this year, they're doing the exact opposite. They are leaning in, focusing the AI on the most impactful high-traffic searches. This isn't caution anymore. This is pure confidence. This quote from the BrightEdge report just nails it. Google isn't just pulling back, it's being strategic about which searches deserve AI guidance. See that? It's not about how many searches get an AI answer, it's about which ones. They're making a judgment call. This is all about quality over quantity. Okay, so what is the strategy then? Where's the method in all this madness? Well, it all snaps into focus when you map Google's AI behavior onto the classic buyer's journey. From the moment someone starts researching to when they're ready to buy, a crystal clear pattern emerges. Here's the best way to think about it. Google's AI is like your own personal shopping assistant. It's right there with you when you're browsing, looking at options, comparing features, doing your homework. But the second you pull out your wallet, poof, it vanishes. It guides you to the checkout line, but it doesn't walk through it with you. Let's make this super concrete. You search for best TV for gaming. The AI is there, ready to help. Then you search Samsung versus LG. Yep, it's still there, helping you compare. But the moment you search for a specific model's price, it's gone. The AI has stepped back. The takeaway here is so simple, but so powerful. AI is for the thinking part, not the buying part. And this pattern reveals everything about Google's core motive. It's positioning AI not as some tool that handles the whole shopping trip from start to finish, but as a very specific, incredibly powerful layer right in the middle of it all. So this is its job description. Google's AI is being built to be the ultimate comparison engine. It's there to help you evaluate your options, to cut through all the marketing noise, and to help you make a confident decision. Once you've made up your mind, its work is done. And the data backs this up even when we look at different products categories. For things like TVs and appliances, stuff with lots of specs and features to compare, AI is highly present. But for something more visual and subjective, like furniture, it pulls way back. The AI only shows up where it knows it can add the most value. And right now, that's in text-based comparisons. Okay, so we've cracked the code. We understand the strategy. Now for the most important part. What on earth do you do about it? Let's build a practical marketing playbook so you can align your strategy with what Google is doing. Let's talk timing, because it is everything, especially for holiday shopping. In November, your customers are deep in research mode. AI's influence is at its absolute peak. That influence stays strong through early December as they compare their final choices. But by late December, it's all about the transaction, and the AI has already stepped back. The window to really leverage AI is early, and you have to be ready. All right, here's your action plan. Your to-do list. First, your comparison content.
Your X versus Y articles, your best of lists, that content is now pure gold. Make it great and get it indexed well before November. Second, double down on your traditional SEO for your transactional buy now pages. And finally, remember that tiny 18% overlap we started with? That's your reminder to stay flexible. This is going to keep changing.
So let's just boil this all down. Google's AI is the new ultimate comparison engine. It's the guide that stands between a curious shopper and a confident buyer. And that guide is out there right now looking for the best information it can find. So the only question left is, when it looks for a guide, is it going to be your content that it finds?